Incompatible coworkers. Oh, I hate the topic, but we're going to talk about it today. Hi there, I'm Angela Brown, and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question, and I get to help you find an answer. Now, today's show is brought to us by Savvy Cleaner Training, which is all about what happens behind the scenes of your business. How to hire employees, how to fire employees, what to do if your employees are not getting along, what to do if it's your coworkers that are not getting along, and all kinds of things like that. So Savvy Cleaner Training, and you can find some help over at savvycleaner.com. All right, on to today's show, which is from a house cleaner who has this question.
Hi Angela, it's Yvonne here and I live in Scotland, and it's myself and another lady that I work with, and although she's a very good worker, we're quite incompatible in the sense that I'm quite organised and she is disorganised, not time-wise, because she's always keen to get the job done, but in the amount of stuff that she wants to take into one house rather than sort it out in the car, in the van, whatever, before we go into the house. It's a case of take everything in, all the bags, all the rubbish, and sometimes even dirty cloths from the last house in another bag. How do I help sort that without it becoming an issue? Thank you.
All right, Yvonne, this is a little bit sticky situation, but let's go ahead and talk about incompatible coworkers. Now, when you hire someone and they are working alongside you, or whether you hire them and you are the boss and they are the employee, it's important from day one for you to set up some ground rules and some boundaries that say it's okay if we disagree. Now, from the very beginning, I've always had a conversation. I call it my business, not a battlefield conversation, because I let everybody know up front, it's okay if we don't get along. It's okay if we don't even like each other. It would be nice if we did, but it's not required for this job. What's required for this job is that we respect each other, that we're kind to each other, and that we respect each other. And if we don't like each other, that's fine. The world is full of people, and if one person doesn't like you, no love lost, right? We're going to move on, we're going to both do our jobs, everything's good. But if there are catfights, and if people start nitpicking with each other, and if people start backstabbing and they're gossiping behind each other's backs, you got to take it outside. Go outside and figure out between the two of you or the two of us who gets to stay, because only one person then is allowed to stay. If you can work it out amongst the two of you, both of you can return. But if both of you cannot return, and there are these weird feelings and catfights and all this stuff, we're not going to deal with that. One of you has to leave, and I don't care which one of you it is. You figure it out. If you can't figure it out, one of you leave. Go find a new job. And those are my rules. All right, so now that you've determined that you can get along in spite of the fact that you have differences, you're neat and tidy and she's sloppy, what we need to do next is we need to put some systems in place. So the fact that she's bringing all kinds of rubbish into a customer's house and she's trying to sort through her cleaning supplies and restock her caddy and all of those things from the last house, that is totally inappropriate. Talk about cross-contamination and bringing junk and germs inside other people's houses. That is not cool and that is not okay. So from the very beginning, we need to recreate and establish some systems. Now, what I recommend is that the night before you're cleaning, you know what houses you have to go clean. And so if you have 3 houses you're going to go clean the next day, or you have 5 houses between the 2 or 3 of you, you know that you need 5 kits for that next day. And in each of those kits, there need to be sponges and cloths and cleaning supplies and mop heads and all the different things that you need for each individual house. Now, you may only have 1 cleaning caddy, but you can get 5 cardboard boxes or 5 plastic bins, and you can stack each of the supplies that you need for that day inside those bins. Then you can quickly remove the stuff from this one, and you can take the stuff out of this box and restock your caddy in the trunk of your car. Better yet, have 5 cleaning caddies and literally put 1 in, take the next one out, okay? Because the more organized you are, the more time you're going to save when you get to a customer's house. And if you are the employer and this girl works for you and she's doing all this, figuring stuff out when she's at the customer's house, she's wasting your company time. So in order to prevent that, you want to do all of your inventory the night before. Now, when you get home from today's cleanings, let's say that you did 5 cleanings today, all the towels have to come out. All the mop heads have to come out. All that stuff has to be washed and sanitized. All the jugs, all the spray bottles that you have to be refilled. You have to go through your entire kit every single day and figure out what you used and what you need in order to do tomorrow's job. And while you're taking everything out of your cleaning caddy, that's a great time to wipe out the bottom of it. Make sure that there are no crumbs and dust and gunk and things. Because when you take everything out of your caddy at the end of every day, that's when you find things you weren't expecting. Like a missing piece of someone's vacuum that you accidentally brought home with you. And so now you can return it to the customer so that they don't have to go 2 weeks in between cleanings without that vacuum attachment. So if there's anything at all that made its way into your cleaning caddy, it's not an ideal situation when it happens, but it does happen from time to time. Something will drop in there, or the dog will bring and drop something in your bucket, not realizing that you've taken it home. And so it's great to go through and make sure there's nothing extra that is not yours, but then it's also great to restock your supplies for the following day. If you show up at a customer's house and they see you taking out rags and cloths and stuff from the last person's house, they might fire you because that is really unsanitary and that's gross. So it's not just that she's disorganized, it's that she doesn't have any systems in place. And so even if you are just the coworker, you need to go back to your employer and say, hey, we need some new systems in place. And then as a team, you get to create those systems. And maybe you could bring her in on the process, because if you get her involved in the process, that's her data. And now she might agree to that, and she might be more easygoing and help you make that happen. But you don't have to get along. As far as being compatible, you guys don't have to get along. You just have to be nice to each other, and you both have to be efficient and work well. That's it. So you got this. You totally have this, Yvonne. Alrighty, thanks for today, and until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.